Hello, welcome to another YouTube video. In today's video, I will be doing how I draw portraits from a reference. The person for my reference that I chose is called Manon. She's from a girl group called Katseye. So let's get to explaining. So first I start with drawing a circle. And then I draw a horizontal line that represents where the eyes will be, and a vertical line that represents the middle of her face or where the nose and the lips will be centered. Then I am looking at the reference and I'm first looking at the distance between the eyes. And the little two dots that you see me draw are just like guidelines for how much space there is between her eyes. For the eye shape, I really just try to look at the reference and copy the eye shape that that person has. There isn't any specific technique for this that I use. I think drawing eye shapes just comes with a lot of practice, and with time you get better with distinguishing what kind of eye shape it is and how to draw it. And I wanted to say, some people like to start from drawing the head first, but for me I find it much easier to draw when I draw the eyes first, because later I can see how much distance there is between her eyes and the side of her head. And okay, so the next thing I'm drawing is the nose. I'm just looking at the reference, and personally I like to draw the nostrils first, just like the shape of them, and then I just do the outline of the nose. As you can see, I messed up, so I'm fixing it. It really is about copying and trying to make the nose look as similar as possible to hers. And right away I am doing the mouth as well. As you can see, I first do the top part, and then I do the little two dots on the side that just show where the mouth ends, like the width of the mouth. I think I'm not looking at the reference now, but I think her mouth is a bit parted, so I'm just drawing that. Now I am adding details to her eyes, so I'm drawing her pupils and I'm adding the little lines above her eyes. I'm sorry, I can't remember how you say that. It's the crease, right? I'm adding her crease, eye crease. I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry. Now I'm just looking at the reference and I'm trying to see how much distance there is between her eye and the side of her face. And here I'm just looking at the shape of her face, like, is it oval, is it like a round, is it round or square or circle, like what kind of face shape she has. So yeah, I'm just drawing and following the line that I think her face shape is. So with this, of course, again, it sometimes needs a lot of practice to be able to, copy the face shape. But with time, of course, you get better at, drawing different face shapes. Here, in this picture, as you can see, she has her fingers like in front of her mouth, like on her chin. That is what I'm drawing here. Her fingers, which, as you guys know, I struggle with drawing hands. But that's okay. That's not the main thing with this. We're trying to draw portraits, so it's okay. And here I'm drawing her ears. She has very interesting ears, and I love when people have some like different features. So I'm trying to copy the shape of her ears. As you can see, the ears they usually start a little bit above the eyes, just like in this case. Of course, for some people it's different. That's why you just need to look at the reference. Now that I'm looking at the video, I see that I actually use a lot of imaginary lines. So these are some of the lines in my mind that I don't really, I don't really draw them, but I do see them like in my head. I hope that makes sense. So if it's easier for you, of course, you can draw those lines. But for me, it's not easy for me like that. I just like to not use them in some cases like this. So now you saw me do the hairline, and now I'm adding the baby hairs. Yeah, and I started doing the eyebrows. I don't know why I didn't finish the whole baby hairs first, but yeah, I just wanted to do her eyebrow, I guess. With the eyebrows, again, I'm using these imaginary like lines, but I always try to do it kind of with the line of the nose, like where the nose ends. I will show you on the screen. And that's what I do for the other eyebrow as well. And of course, I try to copy her eyebrow shape. As you can see, she has very like straight eyebrows, no curve. I really like those type of eyebrows too, but that's besides the point. I love when, because they're really easy to draw as well. And yeah, here I am going back to her baby hairs. So that's what I am drawing now, trying to copy how they look like. Of course, it's not like completely the same, but I'm just doing that. Okay, so now I'm doing her braids, but I'm gonna be honest, I was very, very lazy with hair for this portrait. I kind of wanted to focus more on her face than I did on the hair, which of course isn't a good thing. Like, if you're drawing a portrait, you should pay attention to hair as much as you should to face. I mean, I wouldn't say I did a horrible job, because later you will see, like with shading and everything, it turned out okay. It turned out great. But I just wish I like paid more attention to details and did like, I just wish I was a bit more patient with the hair. Yeah, I'm just trying to draw her braids the way that I like to draw them. I like to do like these little half circles and then connect them. But as you can see, in some places, my pen strokes are very chaotic because, like I said, I'm very impatient sometimes, and that is very bad. Please don't be like me. So this is what I mean. You see how I do the little half circles, and yeah, sometimes it takes a long time, but it would be so beautiful if I did that for every single braid. But like I told you, I was kind of lazy, so you will see there is some different things. And here, I just realized I do this a lot. Instead of finishing the whole hair, I started doing her earrings. But okay, so you can see me just copying the way her earrings look. And as you can see, I usually with details, I straight up do them very dark. Like, I press my pen. It's not, I don't do like just a sketch. I do it straight away, very dark and in your face. And I don't shy away from the details. I really like adding them. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing here. And now I'm continuing the hair. And as you can see here, this is what I meant when I said that I was kind of lazy to do like every single braid like separately. But yeah, like I said, it could have been prettier and nicer, but I'm sorry. I was just very lazy to do every single one. Okay, so now I am adding the details with my pen. I am doing her ears first, and then I'm gonna go down her jawline. I mean, from the top to the bottom to her chin. And now I am adding the eyelashes, which are my favorite part. I love adding eyelashes. And as you can see in the reference, she has like the wispy lashes, and they are very prominent on the ends. There isn't really much going on in the inner corner of her eyes. So that's why I drew them like that. And of course the lower lashes. And I'm just gonna do the same thing for the other eye as well. But here I am adding like the shadow on the lower lash line that she has. And like I said, of course, I'm doing the same thing on the other eye. Now I'm just adding the details on her pupils and the iris and everything. I'm just looking at her eyes and copying how they look like. I do that for the both of the eyes. Now moving on onto the nose, I'm just adding the details for the nostrils, again looking at the reference and trying to make them look as similar as possible. As well, you see she has a nose piercing, so I added that as well. And yeah, I'm just doing the outline and trying to make it look like the nose in a reference. For the lips, I'm basically doing the same thing, just adding the details that I see on the picture. I feel like for when you're drawing a portrait, like the sketch is very important, don't get me wrong, but and of course to know where the eyes are, the nose, everything, the shapes. But I feel like when you start adding details, adding like shadows and everything, that's when your character really starts to look like a person. I mean, the person that you're drawing really starts to look like the person who you are drawing. So I feel like when you're adding details, you really need to pay attention to the reference so that you don't like overdo something. Or I mean, as you can see, I'm still working on that. I feel like, of course, she doesn't look the same, like I mean the person on the reference photo and the person that I drew, but I tried my best, you know, to copy and to make her facial features as similar as possible. So now I'm starting the shading process, which is basically adding like the shadows and highlights and everything. But this reference is actually not very good because as you can see, there isn't much shadows and light on her face. So I kind of just had to make up where the lighting is coming from. So because like as you can see, her face is just, you can't see shadows from the left or from the right, or you know, I hope you understand what I mean. So because of that, this is not a very good reference for shading. So I just went with how I usually like to shade faces, just like adding some shadows around the nose, around the eyes, her forehead, under her chin, and under her, like on her neck area, and also on the ears. Those are usually the places that I like to shade. And of course, like the cheekbones. Um, so yeah, if you're looking for a reference, I feel like the best references are when you have a lot of lighting. So this is not a great example, but it's fine. I'm just practicing faces in this case. But if you want to practice more of like shading and lighting and everything like that, I suggest finding a reference where you have a lot of light and shadow. That's just a suggestion. Now I just fixed her eyebrows, and you can see me just adding the details on her hand, on her fingers. So now you see me adding the non-existent blush on the reference because like I said, I don't like that there is not like there is no lighting, no shadows in this reference. So I was like, my drawing looks kind of boring, so I want to add some blush and more like shadows, more things to, I don't know, just to make her face pop more. And yeah, that's what I'm doing here. Of course, it's all a choice when you are drawing from a reference. If you want to keep everything the same, of course, you are not gonna do what I just did, but I just like adding things that I like to the reference pictures because I don't know if you watched any of my other videos or the video that I did about reference photos. I don't really like copying everything. Like, of course, I am like looking at the reference, I'm trying to make it similar, but similar doesn't mean the same, you know? So, yes, I want it to look similar, but I also want to, you know, add some of my style and things that I like to do and the way that I like to draw things. So I was actually thinking of stopping the recording right here because as you can see, I did my signature and I wrote her name. But then I was like, I really can't leave this hair like that. I can't leave it so unfinished. And so I decided to, add more curls and just try to make it look better. I feel like I already told you, I didn't do a great job on this hair. I feel like I could have done such a better job with the braids, with everything. But please bear with me. I was really tired, and because that day I had to pre-film some of the videos, so this was already my third drawing. So I was kind of tired, and I'm sorry. I wish I did a better job with this hair because I feel like it had much, much more potential to look very, very nice. But here, you see me trying to make it at least a bit better, trying to fix it. But yeah, I feel like I did a pretty decent job at trying to fix it. Um, I mean, adding these little like curls, and yeah, I don't know. I like the way it turned out. Yeah. Yeah, these are the results. I hope you like the way it came out. I hope you like the portrait. If you maybe have any requests on any person that you would like me to do a portrait of, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!